Hi, welcome to Santosha Rose. My name's Sam, and today we have a class of yoga for cosmic flow. It's a little bit different. My favourite kind of yoga is when you forget that you're doing yoga and you're just lost in the movement of it. So everything we're going to be doing today is going to have some movement and that real sense of flow with it. I'm really excited to share it with you. See you on the mat. We're going to start the practice today lying on our backs. So bring yourself down to the mat, palms facing up to the ceiling. You're going to stretch the legs out, maybe closing your eyes. I will suggest closing eyes a few times in the practice today. It can be really powerful at helping us to get into our body, just going inward with that attention. Snuggling the shoulders down the spine. Breathing here, allowing yourself to come into the practice, to relax and release. Feeling the breath going all the way down to your stomach and letting your body expand on every inhale, release on every exhale. And keep your eyes closed or open them, whatever feels good for you. And bring the right knee in towards the chest, giving it a squeeze. And releasing with the right hand, we're going to use the left leg to guide it over to the left hand side. So it comes across the body, coming down towards the floor. The right arm can just go into that cactus shape, grounding down through the right shoulder. Feeling that stretch coming all the way through the right glute. Just breathing into that. Any places that feel tight. Keeping that right shoulder grounding down. I'm going to bring that right knee back in. I'm going to bend through the left leg, planting the left foot down. Just bring that right ankle over the top of the left knee. I'm going to flex through the right foot so we create a figure 4 shape with this right leg as the knee goes out to the right hand side. I'm lifting up the left leg off the floor. I'm going to take a clasp behind the left thigh, keeping that nice flex through the right foot. And maybe this feels like this is enough. You can stay here. If you'd like to, you can bring that left leg in towards the body, feeling that stretch going all the way through into the glute muscles. Breathe. Slowly release that left foot down to the floor, releasing with the hands. Straighten the right leg up towards the ceiling. Maybe it goes straight, maybe it doesn't. It's fine. Listening to your body. We're going to bring that right leg down slowly and with control, engaging through the core muscles. And recognizing that it will get heavier as it gets closer to the floor and gravity is working more strongly on it. Kind of keep that smooth movement even as it gets heavier. And releasing that right leg down to the floor, straightening out in the left leg. Breathe. I'm going to bring the left knee in this time, squeezing it in towards the chest. Releasing with the left hand as the left arm goes out into that cactus shape. The right hand is bringing that left leg across the body over towards the floor. Feeling that stretch, grounding down through the left shoulder. Breathe. You're going to slowly bring that left leg back up, coming back to a neutral spine, bending through the right knee, planting that right foot on the floor so we can cross the left leg over. The left knee goes out, the left foot flexes. We lift up the right leg, creating that figure 4 shape. Maybe you stay here, maybe you bring that right leg in towards the body, feeling that stretch through the glutes. Breathing into any places of tightness. And releasing the right leg down to the floor. Let go with the hands and stretch the left leg up towards the ceiling, just as straight as you want it to be. And slowly and with control, we're going to bring that left leg down. And again, being curious, noticing as it gets heavier, as it gets nearer towards the floor. Releasing, letting that left leg come down to the floor, straightening through the right leg. Breathe. You're going to bring both knees into the chest this time, giving them that squeeze. You're going to cross over at the ankles. You're going to rock up and down the spine 3 times, gradually working to coming all the way up. And then as we come up, we're going to go straight over the crossed legs into a tabletop position. Pressing into the foundations here, wide fingers, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Pressing the upper body away from the floor, we're going to bring the tummy down, lift the head up. Then pressing into the foundations, we curl through the spine, chin comes into chest. Inhaling, tummy comes down and head lifts. Exhaling, curling through the spine. Take the hips back towards the heels and then coming as if we were pushing a ball along the floor with our nose. Pressing into the hands, curling through the spine again, taking the hips back and coming forward along the floor. One more time, we curl through the spine, hips come back towards the heels, and pushing that ball along the floor, we come back to our tabletop position. Taking the hands a hand width further in front, tuck the toes, lift the knees up, sending the hips up to the ceiling. Keeping that sense of movement and flow here as we bend through one leg and bend the other. Taking whatever movement feels good in this posture. And this downward facing dog. Maybe looking under one arm, looking under the other. Keeping that sense of flow and movement through the spine. Bring the feet a little bit closer together. We're going to come up onto our tiptoes, bending through the knees, sending the hips a little bit higher, feeling that sense of reach. Then we bring the knees down, 2 feet on the floor, 2 knees, 2 hands. We bend through the elbows, bringing chin and chest down, 8-point pose. Then scooping forward onto our tummies, lifting up, baby cobra, head, shoulders, chest, and hands lift off the floor. Then slowly releasing back down. Press into the hands, coming through hands and knees, tuck the toes, send the hips up, downward facing dog again. Now do that movement one more time with a real sense of flow. So we come up onto the tiptoes, bringing the knees down to the floor, elbows come into the body, chest and chin come down, and then scooping forward, head, chest, arms lift up off the floor. And slowly lowering everything down, we press into the hands, coming through hands and knees, tuck the toes, hips come up, downward facing dog. We're going to hold here for 3 breaths, pressing into the hands, feet angling slightly in towards each other to create that internal rotation of the thighs. We're going to bring the knees back down again. This time taking the feet over to one side. So we're coming down into a seated position, into our staff pose. Legs out in front. You're going to take a grasp as if we were holding onto oars. So we're doing another moving posture as if we were rowing a boat. So you're going to reach forward, taking the oars as far forward as you can, and bringing them all the way up the legs, coming all the way back as far as you can, and then coming back up and over, reaching forwards, folding forward over the legs, then coming all the way back. Maybe closing your eyes here. So you keep going with that movement, coming forward and back. Feeling all the different parts of your body that are engaging here. And next time you're reaching the arms out in front, you're going to take a pause there. And then imagining that we're going in the other direction. So the arms come up as we go back, and then coming down towards the legs as we go forwards. So taking your boat in another direction now. And don't worry, it's not really supposed to be about rowing technique here. It's just about feeling that sense of flow, that sense of movement. And then coming back to a stillness. Bring ourselves to a hovering boat pose. So feet just lifting a couple, maybe 1 inch off the floor. And we're going to lift the hands up, closing the eyes again here, although you can have a quick peek first. You can do something called cosmic swimming. So almost like a front crawl swimming motion with the arms. The feet are staying hovering and just gently and slowly taking this wide movement with the arms. You can close your eyes and just have that sense of, what does it feel like to be here in your body right now, be doing this movement. And then releasing the hands and feet down to the floor. Bring the hands a little bit further back, pointing in towards the hips. Take the feet forward. We're going to press into hands and feet coming into our tabletop position. Checking that we're still pressing into the inside edges of the feet. And slowly lowering the hips down. I'm going to straighten the legs out straight, reaching the arms up to the ceiling, and folding forward over the legs. Allowing yourself to just release here. Inhaling and lengthening with the spine, exhaling, folding forward. And slowly bringing the hands up the legs, uncurling through the spine. Now bend the legs in, reaching the hands in front, palms facing in towards each other as we slowly curl down, bringing the vertebrae down one at a time, coming all the way down to the floor. And release the hands by the sides, lifting the knees up, coming into that double right angle, one at the hips, one at the knees. You're going to make sure that we're pressing into the small of our back, so we're removing that curve that we have there. And I'm going to stretch the left leg out, bringing it back in, stretching the right leg out and bringing it back in. I'm going to move this, keep this syncing up to the breath. So we inhale as we stretch, exhale, bringing that knee back in. Inhale, stretch away. Exhale, we come back. Inhale, stretching. Exhale, back. And keeping that movement going in time to your own breath. If you want to have a little bit more challenge, you can take the legs down closer towards the floor, keeping that flat back on the floor though, not creating an arch there. Do one more on each side. And then we're going to bring the knees in towards the chest, wrapping the arms around the legs, taking a gentle rock from side to side, giving your spine a massage. And then bringing the feet down onto the floor, hands by the sides, palms facing down to the mat. We're going to press into the feet as we lift the hips up, coming into our bridge pose. And then slowly coming all the way down, coming down the spine, one vertebrae at a time. And pressing into the feet as we lift. And slowly coming all the way back down. Going to do one more and hold this time. So pressing into the feet, lifting the hips up off the floor. You can bring the shoulders towards each other, taking a clasp with the hands underneath the body, and pressing into the legs as we lift the hips, using the strength of the legs, pressing into the inside edges of the feet as we lift, and then releasing with the hands, slowly coming all the way back down the spine. And I take the arms out into a T shape, crossing the right leg over the left leg, pushing into that left foot to lift the hips up. We send the hips an inch to the right, and then taking the knees over to the left hand side, slowly and with control. Right shoulder grounding down into the floor. Breathe. And slowly bringing those knees all the way back up to the center. We press into the left foot to straighten out the hips, uncrossing with the right leg. And crossing with the left leg over the top, pressing into the right foot. We lift the hips, send them an inch to the left this time, taking the legs all the way over to the right hand side, grounding down through the left shoulder. Breathe. With control, we're lifting those legs all the way back up, pressing into the right foot to even out the hips, uncrossing the legs. We send both legs out straight, palms come alongside the body, palms coming up to the ceiling. We snuggle the shoulder blades down the spine. Breathe, closing your eyes again here. Feeling yourself being held by the earth underneath you. Feeling the expansion on the inhale, the releasing on the exhale. You bring little movements, wiggling fingers and toes, stretching the arms out overhead. Feeling yourself get as long as you possibly can, stretching fingers in one direction, toes in the other, and bringing the knees in towards the chest. We wrap the arms around, taking that rock from side to side, and rolling over onto one side to bring ourselves all the way back up to a cross-legged seated position. Bring the palms in front of the chest and close the practice together. Namaste. Thanks so much for sharing your practice with me today. If you enjoyed it, do give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know how you found it in the comments below. See you again soon.